Hi, today we're going to play Experimental Meds. And Experimental Med is an expansion to the Pandemic the Cure game, it takes place in the pandemic world, so it's a pandemic game, but it uses dice instead of all the other mechanisms that you use in ordinary pandemic. In this expansion, you need to have the base game in order to play this expansion, and what the expansion do is it adds a lot of new stuff to the game. Actually, it adds 4 categories of new stuff. First, it adds 8 new characters that you can play with a lot of different new skills they can use in the game. And of course, all these cute dice. I love the dice in Pandemic the Cure, and this just adds more. So that's just very great. And furthermore, you add a lot of event cards, a lot of new event cards to the game that does a lot of new stuff. So that's two things they add. But the core expansion of the game is the purple disease. Like in regular Pandemic, you have expansions on the brink and other expansions that add the purple disease, and they add the purple disease in Experimental Meds as well. It's a little different than the normal dice because it's a little more random and more explosive or whatever. It has the normal size like this, but it also have at ×2 and -1 side, which will take effect when you play the game and do a lot of different stuff that I'll show you when I play the game. There are little stickers with the game that you can put on the different regions that the purple disease can break out in. So you just have you have 2 sides on your regular discs here, and on one of the sides you just add the purple one, so you can choose if you want to play with the purple disease or not. You can just switch it around. So that's a great feature. Furthermore, you have the hot zone dice. Here you go, and these are doing a lot of ugly and sometimes great stuff. I'll just show you there are yellow sides and white sides, and the white sides are great and the yellow ones are bad, but I'll just show you when I play the game how it all works. Yeah, and of course you get a new sticker like this with the purple disease on, or not sticker but card. Yeah, okay, let's play the game. I've lined it all up, and I'll just start by saying that I will not explain the rules for Pandemic the Cure. I reckon that you know the rules for that if you're watching this video for the expansion, so I'll just tell you the different stuff that's in this game. So you set it up like you normally do with the 12 dice on the different regions. What you do is that if you like in normal the Cure, if you roll this one, then you re-roll it. The same goes for the purple die that has a -1 and a multiply by 2. If you roll one of them, you just roll it again, and I did, and it turned out to be a 4. Furthermore, you put out these hot dices on each section of the epidemic scale here. So whenever you enter with an epidemic, you enter here, the next zone, you will enter the zone of the new hot dice, and then hot zone die, and then you roll it and put it on the board. I'll show you that later. But in order to get started, we still need to use these hot zone dice and put them out in different regions, depending on where the different colors are placed. So the first one we take is the red one, so we will have to place this in the region with the most red infections. I'll just roll it, and this is the transportation lockdown side of the die. The yellow ones are the bad ones and the white ones are the good ones. So this is a bad one, and it says that if you want to enter this zone with this die on, then you need to have 2 ships or 2 planes to get in there, not a ship and a plane, 2 of the same type to get into a region. And I need to place it in a red one, so it could be this one or that one, because they both have 1 red, and I'll just place it here. The next one is the blue one. Let's see if it's better. It is this one is the isolation ward. You can use that if you're in a region with this die. You can re-roll a biohazard, and then you you just have to re-roll this one as well, but you can use that for changing biohazards into something better. And we place it here with the blue. Then we go for the yellow. Yeah, the yellow. Here we go. Oops, that's one of the same type. It's isolation ward 2. Then we have the black one. It's transportation lockdown as the first one, and then finally the it needs to be, yeah, this is the only place with the black, yeah. And then the yellow, sorry, the purple, and it's isolation ward. So we just rolled 2 of the 6 types, so I'll just show you here. The other sides, you have this one, it's the hazardous sample. If you're in a region with this one, if you're in a region with this one, you add 1 to your roll for getting a cure. But then you have to advance the Seren one. So, okay, if you have this one, it's the evacuation, then you can spend it, and you can move infections to adjacent regions. Then if you have the raid effect, this one, it's really bad. If there's an infection in the region where this one is, then you then you draw 2 more infection dice and roll them. So that's bad. But then when it's fired, then it turns into evacuation, this one instead. And finally we have this one, it's influx of patients. If a region outbreaks, then you draw 4 more infection dice and put them in the treatment center. So that's bad too. But this looks okay. I think this is okay. So let's, I'll just show you this here on the cured disease. Of course, the purple has been added, so you can do that. And I put out 5 players in order to show you how they add new stuff to the game. There are 8 new players, and I just put 5 of them in it. And some of the players now has this marker up here that states that you can only use this one if you are in a 3 or more player game. So, but that's okay. That's the operation expert or the celebrity activist. Great. So we'll start with the quarantine specialist, and she has the ordinary dice sides like in the normal game, but no infection dice can hit the place where she is. So if I infect and roll a 1, if she's in region 1, then it will just go back in the bag. So that's a great skill she has, and she can, when her turn is over, she can move to any region in the world for free. So I'll just roll and see what happens. Oh, a lot of sirens. That's great. Let's see. Maybe we should go after the blue first. So I will use 1 here to put the blue in here. Then I will move with the plane to here. Then I will use 3 here to put all the red, blue in there. And now I can move her to any region on the map in order to prevent dice to get in. And I think I will go down here because we already have 2 yellows, so I can prevent an outbreak. That's her turn. And now I'll put my hand in the bag and get out 3 dice, and hopefully it will not be too bad. Just rolling them. 1 here, number 4 down here, and number 3 here. So that's her turn. Now for the operation expert, he will roll, and he has, as you can see here, some small houses. And what he can do is that he can use a house to place in the region where he is, and then he can move to any region in the world. And the house stays put in the region where he is living it. And it will stay there until it becomes his turn again, and the other players can move to regions with the house for free. It's a little like the research station in the ordinary pandemic game. Let's take a look. What would we like to do? We would like to, I think I will, well, I could take one of the blue ones if that's what we're aiming at. Yeah, and then maybe I'll just fly to, sorry, the house here. Maybe I'll just fly to, you see, you cannot, it's pretty hard to get into this region because it has this transportation lockdown. So it's a nice thing to put a house there because then anyone can move there for free. So maybe I should just fly down here, put a house here, and well, before I do that, I'll just hand this over to my colleague here because I want her to get all the, so here we go, and then I could move to another region, and I'll just go where we like to go. Maybe here, and then use a siren to put this one in here. And yeah, well, I'll just remove this from the game, or put it back in the back, like that. So that's his turn, and I will pull out 3 and infect the world. Here we go. A 5. A 4 and a 3. Let's see, any outbreaks? No. Any special effects? No. No. So this one, oh, I'm sorry, the quarantine expert is here, so specialist here, so this will just go back in the back box here, in the back. Great. Now it's time for the archivists, and he has a special die too. Side here, it's a magnifying glass, and he can use that to give samples to other players. So I'll just roll and see what happens. Oh, a biohazard, we hate them. So one of them. But you see, if he was placed in a region with this one, he could re-roll it, but he's not. So oh, let's take a look here. Okay, now we have some different options here. I can pick up 2 here of the blues and give them to her because we're in the same region. But then I will log up my die doing that. I think I will do it anyways because it's just, we are in the same region, so no problem. With the magnifying glass, I can push it to anyone within in any region. So, but okay, what now? Let's take a look. Maybe we should go down here and clear some of this stuff out, and I can do that for free because there's a house, so I can just move there for free. And I think I'll just push maybe the red one in here with this one. I should have fly anywhere else. Maybe, I don't know. No, I'll just re-roll this one. It's still a plane. Oh, on the floor. Oh, and up here it goes. But this is the magnifying glass. And I can use that to add one from the treatment center to any other players, to a sample held by any other players. So I'll just put it down here. So that's great. That was his turn. Now I just have to pick 3 infection dice and see what happens. We don't get that many purple, actually, that's strange. There's a 3, there's a 4, and the 5 goes back in the back box. And that was the archivist. And now for the celebrity activist. The celebrity activist, she cannot cure anything. She doesn't have the vial, so she can't cure any diseases. She's not capable of that, but she has money, so she can save money on her character sheet here. And when she needs to do an infection roll in the end of her turn, she can convert all as many dice as she has dollars into crosses to go to the CDC. Furthermore, she has this double airplane, which means that she can fly to a place and then fly to another place in the same turn. She cannot do anything between the flights. She can just move, but she can bring a fellow player with her, drop the player off and move to another region. So she can move people around. She's a real celebrity. So let's see what happens when she rolls her dice. She gets, 2 biohazards. So it will go here. Not so good. Here we go. And now she can't really use this for anything good, can she? No. She could, we could put the red one in here with this one, and I think I will re-roll these ones and see if I can get something better. There was $1, that's great. And maybe I will just take a free flight down here and just put one of the red ones in here with that one. So, and now you can see her in action, because now I will just pick up the 3 standard infection dice that we have here. 1, 2, 3, here we go. And then I will just say the purple one, they are really bad, so I'll just use my $1 and put it in here and just roll 2. So that's just great. Get a 1, and we get a 3, and nothing else happens. No, great. That was her turn. Now it's time for the epidemiologist. I can't pronounce that. She has normal dice like anyone else, but she has this special one, and it's a double vial. So she can have 2 samples in the same. That's really great. So she can really suck in stuff from here, and maybe she will. Let's take a look. She's here. She's going for the blue one, but should we try to get the red one too? We could. We need 1 more blue, right? Yeah, so we'll just take that. But sometimes I just want I'll just take the blue one. Let's hope that's enough. Yeah. Then let's see. Maybe we should go for the red one. I'll just put. We have to be careful, because if I re-roll and she get a biohazard, then I'll have to re-roll all these. So maybe I'll just pick up one of the red ones here. I'm tempted to re-roll this one, because if I get a 2, this one, I can pick up 2 of them, but I don't really dare doing that. So I'll just take it up here, and then maybe should I just re-roll and see if I can pick it up and hopefully not get a... Oh, wait a minute. If I fly for free down here, I'm in this area where I have an isolation ward, and I can re-roll any 1 biohazard. I'll try doing that. Luckily, I didn't roll any biohazard, so I can take these 2 out and put them here. So, but now I will just move back, use this one to put a red one in here, move back again, and re-roll and hope to put this in a vial. Yes, I did. That's pretty good. So that's her turn. And now I'll start rolling here. See if any region had a house like this, and it had this side here with the I would have flown there, but I can't. So let's hope for 13. Yeah, that's 1820. That's just great. So now we cured the blue one. That's great. And all these guys go back in the back in the back. And I release these dice for the other people. That's great too. And now I will just, and I release this for myself, and then I will just hope that I will be just as lucky here. Let's see, are there anything here I can use? No. So I'll just roll it and hope, yeah, that's, I'm really lucky, 13. So I cure the red one too. That's just, well, you know, sometimes you're just lucky. It happens, even in pandemic, the cure experimental meds. Okay, I've shown you how the game goes, and I've taken a full round here, so I think you can have a good impression of how the game goes. What happens when we have an epidemic here? You pick up this die and roll it and put it in the region where the player that caused the epidemic is placed. So these dice will be added on the board and making it more and more complicated. I will I will continue playing in my next video, so you can see a couple of rounds more. So, but for now, have a nice day. Hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.